October is Fire Prevention Month. 93.7 The Fan and the National Fire Sprinkler Association remind you to test your smoke alarms monthly. One time I was out on my porch in Morgantown smoking a cigarette with my buds, and there was a collection of like 40 people in our driveway. So I ran inside to grab a baseball bat. I thought there was some sort of fight going on. And I can't just go in there with my knuckles. I got to bring a weapon. And it turns out the house behind us was burning down. It was burning down. Arson. No one lived in it. Someone went in there, set a fire.
Yeah. Wow. How that baseball bat, you put it to good use?
I don't think I ever used it in a game, and I never used it on a human.
What game would you use a baseball?
Guy comes.
You didn't play baseball.
I mean, a mural. All right. I am not a professional. A real professional joins us now, and that's Jeff Hathhorn, our Odyssey sports director. What?
Look at you, Andy Haynes.
Oh, jeez. All right. Let's talk about the Pirates first, Jeff, and we want to report on what you saw from Russell Wilson yesterday and all those Steelers-related things, but your biggest takeaway from Ben Cherington's press conference?
That they're trying to overturn every department, look at every little thing that they can to get better. And I guess that's the biggest thing I take from it. It was 45 minutes long. There was a lot in there. They want McCutchen back. They like O'Neal in center. Don't look for Brian Reynolds probably to be at first base, at least for this year. Brian, they're hoping to be better, but I guess that's the thing. He said salary's going to go up, but it's the same thing we've heard as far as where you're going to see improvement from the Pirates are going to be trades and internally.
So they're in lockstep then. So, Cherington spoke about Shelton and being on the same page and how much he trusts him. Should we trust Shelton to get this done? I mean, there were moments this year where they were playing very well. There were moments this year where we thought that it could happen. We thought that there could be consistency, that they could compete, and then they spiraled down the drain. Like, I don't, Jeff, I mean, I'm not asking you to have the answers for this. They need to have the answers. But should we have faith in Shelton, getting them competitive next year?
It's the question, right? I think with better depth and maybe a trade or two and a key free agent signing, even if it doesn't cost, a ton of money, would make that roster better, which would make his decisions easier, or even if he makes a wrong decision, somebody can execute and get him out of it. So I think it really does start with Cherington. They've got a good rotation. They've got a couple of pieces. How do they augment this? How do they give Cherington the tools he needs? And then for Derek, it's an offseason of looking back at the games and looking at some of the decisions he made and learning from it. And that's at this point, that's all you can ask. But I always think this with the manager, even like what's going on with the Dolphins. Dolphins can't score now. So, he can't. He's a horrible head coach. It's about the players. They got to get better players.
Speaking of augment, Jeffrey, Devontae Adams, how realistic is it that he lands in Pittsburgh?
I think it's slim. I think there's interest. And, listen, they know. We've known for that whole saga with Brandon Ayuk that they need another receiver. They want an impact number 2 receiver, a guy maybe even slides George over if you get to that point. But they're looking. But, from what we initially hear from reporting, that he would like to join a couple of his buddies, whether it's the quarterback he had in college and briefly in the pros, or the quarterback that made him a hell of a lot of money and was a really good combination in Green Bay now with the Jets.
Jeff, I don't know what you're allowed to say and not allowed to say, but we saw that Russell Wilson was limited in practice yesterday. My expectation was that he would be practicing in full based on what Tomlin said on Tuesday. And the video that I saw looked a lot like the Russell Wilson we've seen the last couple of weeks. So what did you say, or what did you hear, what did you see at Steelers practice from Russell Wilson yesterday?
Let's walk that line. Listen, Russ was limited yesterday. But, Mike Tomlin said on Tuesday to look for Russ to do more. But he was limited on Tuesday or on Wednesday.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry.
That was artfully done.
I know. That's such a good job.
That was so professionally done.
He should run for president. That's just amazing, right
Jeff, you just said so much with saying nothing, my friend, and
Yes,
I'm
you
very
did.
proud of you for that.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
He's in complete denial.
Jeff, give us a little preview. What do you think is going to happen on Sunday night? Steelers, Cowboys. I mean, big rivalry. Even, actually, let's not do this. Let's not give you a preview, but talk about the rivalry and growing up watching the Cowboys. That's something that we wanted to get into a little bit later on today. But the Cowboys, Steelers, big time rivalry. What does that mean to you, and what will it mean to you Sunday night?
Well, I mean, it's two of the biggest brands in the league still, even with the success of the Chiefs and other Patriots, obviously, but Steelers, Cowboys. When the NFL was really gaining steam, when it was gaining momentum, it was the 70s, and there were two teams that were involved, and they took the league. They helped take the league to another level, and there's still cachet because there's still a whole group of fans that grew up watching those two teams. So I still think it brings something. Listen, we know about the 3 Super Bowls, obviously, whether you're alive for them or saw highlights of them or just know the results of them. But if you look at the last 5 regular season games between these teams, there have been some great matchups. Steelers won 3 of the 5, and in all 3 of them, they trailed in the fourth quarter. And there have been some really good games between these teams when they match up. So I'm excited for that because it seems like each one kind of channels this, guys that came before us, old time vibe, and they play really good football games.
Jeff, Justin Fields, last 2 games, they've had him throw it a lot. Based on necessity, I don't think they went into the game saying throw it 32 times against the Chargers and throw it all over the field against the Colts. But do you believe that they have learned enough about Justin Fields to maybe go into this game thinking, let's let him throw it a little bit more?
Man, if they haven't, you would have liked to think they would have at this point. I mean, that was the first situation. I mean, you have new things all the time. That was the first time where they trailed, where they had to throw, where they had to drop back. And they scored 24 points, 21 of them in the second half. I think they did learn some things. Now, are there still a few details that need to improve? Yes. This will be another test against a Dallas team. I know they've got some key pieces missing on defense, but it's going to be one of those charged up games. But yeah, here's what we talked about this Tuesday. I would like to see Arthur Smith mimic a little bit of what the Colts did in that take some shots early, loosen up that, loosen up. You should have enough trust in Justin at this point, and he's shown you nothing else to say he's going to make careless passes. Give him a one-on-one with George. Let George go try to make a play early and kind of start that ball rolling and get this offense started a lot earlier than we've seen it for most of the season.
I like that a lot. Jeff Hathhorn, Odyssey Sports Director. Check out more from Jeff on 937thefan.com. Full Steelers injury report up there right now, including the return of Isaac Seumalo. Jeff, thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah, and guys, a cool story really quick about the running back Aaron Champlin from Harvard, who was teaching at this time last year, and how he's got another chance. It's pretty cool.
Physically blessed and hardworking enough to be in the NFL and also be a Harvard guy.
Yes.
Can't relate. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Bye, Carl.
Talk to Jeff
Thanks,
Hathhorn
Carl.
next Tuesday.
I love that guy.
I hate like Ryan Fitzpatrick, guys like that.
Why?
Like, yeah, you're a genius and you're a specimen.
Did I ever tell you the story of Fitzpatrick in practice one time? He got the play from the sideline and came and kneeled down in the huddle and like pointed at us, and we're like waiting for the play. He was like,
He forgot.
I forgot to play. And then ran back, got the play, came back again, kneeled down, did the same thing, pointed at us, and was like, bleep, I forgot to play again. Hold on. And I'm like, this guy went to Harvard.
Do you feel better now?
I do feel a lot better now because that happens to me at
hilarious.
least once a show. It happened to me earlier on in the show.